Hi, this is an explanation for week 11. Week 11's topic is fantasy and science fiction. You're going to read some articles and you're going to respond to the following questions from these two articles: Musings on Diverse Worlds and the Campaign for Shiny Futures. And you're going to put your responses in your small group fantasy and science fiction wiki. Make sure you've created a discussion, meaning you need to respond more than once, and so there will be a response there in your wiki page with you, and you can actually identify yourself so that I can see that you've responded more. And you need to respond to these two questions. In Deidre Baker's article, Musings on a Diverse World, she discusses how there's an absence of racial and cultural diversity in the protagonists of fantasies and in the cultural imagery employed by fantasy authors. Discuss how you would address the lack of diversity in this genre in your classroom. What would you do and why? And then from the Campaign for Shiny Futures article, currently we live in a world where fiction that provides insight into the human condition, usually defined as emotion, is lauded as having the ultimate literary value. This is not a given but part of the current cultural moment. Other values, learning about the mechanics of the world, for example, which were once celebrated both in education and hierarchies of reading lists, are received uncertainly. We may want children to learn science and languages, but our societies regard children and adults who enjoy doing that as a bit odd. But do you love or enjoy science fiction? If so or not, do you agree with the author's point? Here is the article. If you click on it, you go right to the article. And then you are to post those in your Fantasy and Science Fi group wiki. If you click on this, you'll find out which group you're in and who will be your group members. Remember, it's a discussion. You're not just writing your comments, you're also commenting on what your members of your group did. If I don't see that you have commented more than one time, 2 or 3 times, then you will not get full credit for this. Then you are to evaluate a fantasy or science fiction book. After reading chapter 6 and viewing the PowerPoint, here's the PowerPoint, evaluate a fantasy or science fiction book from your self-selected log or library using the evaluation questions. Post this evaluation in your week 11 Dropbox. These will be where you'll find your questions within these two. First the PowerPoint presentation and then in this handout. And you're going to post that in the week 11 Dropbox, which is right here. And then you're going to view the Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris, Less More video. This is a short film. It's also a book, one I'm going to read that in just a minute, which has won an Academy Award. It's based on a fantasy picture book by the same title. You might recognize this book because I actually showed you this book using augmented reality in class one day. Locate a website about the book and share what you would use from the website in creating a lesson for the use of this book. You don't need to create the actual lesson or a lesson plan. Just list your ideas from the website information, link the website you used, and post your list of ideas in the week 11 Dropbox. This is the link to the film. And of course, this is the Dropbox where you're going to put your information in. Not your group information, but your independent information on you evaluating your fantasy or sci-fi book and your response, your ideas, list of ideas for how you would use the Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Less More. And that's it for week 11. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'll see you online, and I'll see you back in class in week 12.